The enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This is the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. Peace to my brother, the realist McCoy. Thanks for coming through, good brother. This evening, I want to speak about friend or foe, family or relatives. What's the difference? Now, I don't use the word friend that much because people don't know what the word is. I have friends, they know who they are, and we have been friends since I was a child. Yet, we have people that will come among us and call themselves our friends, yet they are so untrustworthy at the same time wanting to be around you and have you come around them knowing that they are untrustworthy. Peace to the brother King Genocide. They know they're untrustworthy, and they know that you know they're untrustworthy. They want you to come around them and want to come around you when they mean you absolutely no good at all. And these are people, you know, as Houdini would say, that we call friends. I should have used that record as an intro because it's real synonymous to what I want to quickly speak about this evening. Now, with some of the friends that we have, as the saying say, who needs enemies? And you can also say that about family also, because no one can cross you and disappoint you more than a family member. Because you have family members who are just merely family by blood, a relative, but don't behave like a family member. Family is a like minds. Family is loyalty. Peace to my brother, Realize. Thanks for coming through. Family is loyalty. That's what makes you family. And being there through thick and thin and all the way to the very end, that's what makes you family. When you say that you love your brother or your sister or your auntie or your comrade, that's not an emotional feeling. That means you are duty bound to that brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your comrade, your auntie, your girl cousin, your boy cousin. That means you are duty bound by them. Yet, when you have a relative who knows that you have a family and knows your situation, you have a wife and you have children, and that family member will call you to get you away from them to have you either go to jail or worse. We have family members that would do that. They will call you outside from your family. That's why we have to be very mindful when we're dealing with our family and with our friends. Because some of the brothers, I'm speaking about the brothers now, I have a friend. He's more like a brother to me. He's the type of brother that will tell you, and he will mean it because he's proved it so many times that, okay, if you have to jump, I'm going to jump with you. He said that to me so many times and he proved it. I don't have no doubt that he would do it. That I have to jump, he'll jump with me. Yet, I'm a true brother and good friend. He has a family. So, certain things, though I've never been a bonehead, a knucklehead, certain things you don't get into because you don't want to drag your family in it. But some of our family members and our friends will get into some nonsense and will call you to come out the house. Certain people, I won't even question. I'll just get up and go because they won't call me about no foolishness. But certain people, I have to investigate. I have to ask them what happened. And I got to know a surety that they're telling me the truth because they don't have credibility to just run out my house and go out to, bail this brother out. If they get into nonsense, you constantly going to bail this brother out, shoot him some bail, and he's constantly getting you into stuff. You have to reevaluate that relationship. And if you haven't been around somebody that you're close to in a while, that may not be the same person that you knew years ago. You may have to get to know that brother or sister again. Any other brothers want to come up and have this conversation and join this conversation, feel free to do so. The link is in the chat. You may want to get to know that brother again because he may not be the same person. You never know what the brother's into. I've experienced that. So we have to distinguish friend or foe, family or relatives. Peace to my brother Realize.
Peace,
How you
peace,
doing,
brother.
brother? Peace.
Hey, man, I'm really blessed. More blessed to be up here with a brother like you. So, you know,
I'm the
yeah,
blessed
man.
one.
It's all about us building each other up and standing on one accord, and that's what I'm all about. And I see you doing the same thing. So, it's much respect, man, and always happy to be in your presence, my brother.
I'm the blessed one. I thank you for coming. I am blessed that you came up, brother, to have this conversation with me. I want to discuss friend or foe, family or relatives. What's the difference? Because we have to distinguish what a real friend is and what family is and what a foe is.
Let's
Because
walk.
we're living in a time where we can't recognize them. You ever have a person say to you, brother, Realize, with all due respect, right before they're about to disrespect you?
Man, look, what's crazy about that is I've only really heard that from family and bosses. Like, when that boss say that shit to you or when your family say it to you. I've never really heard it outside of that. But you got it.
Yes. I mean, usually when they say with all due respect, they're about to disrespect you.
No, that's a fact. That's an absolute fact.
And no one, because
Just like when
family.
somebody, oh my bad, go ahead.
Go ahead, brother. You got it. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say just like when somebody say I'm not racist, but
Exactly. They'll say I'm not racist, or they'll say some of my best friends are black, yet you never see them with their best friends. You know, and family members, they have a certain type of entitlement because your family through blood. They feel that they have several chances to disrespect you and do you some type of harm. They feel they have several chances just for the mere fact that they're relatives. You're supposed to give them chance after chance after chance. And friends do it too. Because you knew them for a long time, you're supposed to give them chance after chance to do something totally foul and remain around you.
well, can I ask you a question then about that? Because I have my own feeling about that. And maybe I'm wrong about my feeling about it. So maybe you can, you know what I'm saying, put a little something on what I feel. Cause people like that, I cut them all the way off, bro. I haven't spoke to I'm about to be 38 years old really soon. And since I was very young, like 21, 22, when I had my son, I stopped messing with a lot of people, like literally, like I cut off even family members, you know. I live my life for me, not for no one else. And in that sense, am I wrong? Because I, I'm I'm um I'm finally being selfish, you know, and I'm saying that your life does not mean more than mine. And if you're bringing me something that is hindering me or bringing me down, I don't need to talk to you. Is that a wrong thing? Because you know, the last couple of years, that's what I'm starting to do is just really cut off people who I feel like don't mean me nothing. Maybe I'm wrong for that, but I don't know.
I wouldn't consider you wrong for that. It depends on the severity of the situation and the history between you and the person that it pertains to. If you've given that person chance after chance after chance, they are showing you and have shown you who they are, and you have to believe them. That's them.
Okay,
If you gave them
I,
chance after chance to show that that's what respect means.
right, right. I
You
got you, bro. Keep
respected
going.
that person. You respected that person, but that person didn't respect you. Because to respect somebody means to bind back to. And spect is like glasses used to be called specs. It's mean you're watching that person, you're looking at that person, and you're giving that person a chance because you just don't want to up and cut them off because of a indiscretion. But the indiscretion or mistake, people don't make mistakes after mistake after mistake after mistake. It's not a mistake after that many times. It's
Right,
that's who that
right. I
person is.
understand that.
That's who
I
that
understand
person
that.
is. So
Right.
you cutting them off is not wrong because you have one life and you deserve to be happy without any anxiety and grief, worried about what this person that's in your life that you have around you is going to do next. So the
That's a
best
fact.
thing to do is to cut that person off.
Well, there's another scenario too, though. You feel me? And I don't want to call you OG, but I feel like I'm speaking to an OG of mine. I feel like I'm speaking to someone that can give me some game. Well, on top of that, right? It's not just that, but at the same time, it's that we don't see eye to eye, right? And they might not agree with me or I might not agree with them. One thing that I always do is that even if I don't agree with you, I always respect you and I always can try to learn something from you. So I'm always open minded. But I find that a lot of people aren't the way that I am. So that's another reason why I kind of keep myself away from people because I don't see the same open minded things, the traits, that I have for myself. I could listen to them and understand them, but they can't listen to me and understand me. That's another reason why I kind of, keep myself to myself.
Well, it's better to be amongst alike minds. It's better to be among people of your mindset, because that's
I've
what.
talked to you a lot more. I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't mean to cut your wisdom,
Go ahead,
but
brother.
dude, I speak to you a lot more than I speak to a lot of my family, just because me and you have a like mind and we can have these conversations. Whereas, I can't have these conversations with my own people, and sometimes they just cut me off. So go ahead, brother. My bad.
Indeed. Now I'm just turning. I just had an echo a second ago. Just had an echo. Pardon me, but you're right, brother. You're absolutely correct. We do have a like mind, and I enjoy the conversations that we have. Peace to Equator 7. Salute to you. We do have good builds and conversation. I really appreciate it. And this is the type of conversation that I feel that I can have with you, because you are very steadfast and passionate about us treating each other better. I see that in you every platform you go to. You like to go to a platform and and give some order when there's chaos, brewing. And as a young brother, I feel that your head is on correct. It's on correct. And you want to see our people do better. And that's a very good thing. It's honorable. It's very honorable. And a lot of older brothers and sisters can learn a lot from you and your level of maturity also. I
I
mean,
really appreciate that.
everybody gets, frustrated at times and fly off the handle. Everybody.
I
You
have
know,
to.
yeah,
I have
everybody
to.
does it. Y'all, that's what I'm saying. Yet I know why you do it, and I know where your heart's at. And I mean, it's frustrating, but you know why? Because we're dealing with our people, and our people is not the easiest people to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's a fact.
and we go at each other for the most microscopic crap. And
Man, it gets on my nerves. Oh, it irritates me. Like, bruh, why we can't just team up and just bang on everybody else? But I know
yeah,
that's not always possible. Skin folk and kin folk, and I get that. But sometimes I just be feeling like, man, look, I don't give a fuck what we arguing about. Let's just team up and bang on this nigga one time. So I don't know. But I'm never gonna change who I am. Since I came into this, you know, I've always been the same. You can watch my videos on YouTube. I'm not just someone who gets on other people's panels. I speak on my own things, and I've always been a big proponent of protecting our children. But we have to protect each other, and I've always been that way. I don't give a fuck who don't like it, and I got a lot of people who come at me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times just trolling. So I don't really give a fuck. But at the end of the day, I know what I stand up for. I know what I stand on, and I'm not gonna change up. That's just who I am. I love my people, and that's what it is. If you don't like it, you can kiss my ass.
yeah, yeah.
Period.
And
I
I
don't really
mean,
give a
I
fuck.
feel you. I feel you. You have to be steadfast in that. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep going with that, and don't let nobody take you off your square when it comes to that. And I don't use the word friend or brother often. I watch people on a protracted period because not only that, a brother is it's a title, and it's honorable when somebody call you brother. When they put brother in front of your name, is that's like giving them a term of endearment when you call somebody your brother.
When you call
Yeah,
somebody your brother, it means I love you. Like
exactly.
you somebody close to me.
And automatically, you don't even have to say it. Just by calling brother, it means you see them as that.
That's a fact. Go
Or when
ahead,
you
brother.
call
That's a
somebody's
fact.
sister, you see them as that. You don't have to say it. And not only that, You know, it's so empty when somebody say that and don't show it. A lot of times you don't even have to say that you love somebody. You can just, you know, be dutiful to that person and they know it. They could be
And what you say is how you say it, and what you do is how you do it.
exactly.
That's what my parents taught me.
Exactly. You know, it's people who it's not wordy. They don't speak or they express how they feel, but they don't express it in word. They'll show you. They'll do things for you and they'll be there for you when you need them. They will embrace you,
Oh, gee.
but they you know what I'm saying, but they don't necessarily be saying all that. But you got
That's a
those who
fact.
yelling it, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, love you, but they hateful as hell.
That's a fact.
They
It,
hateful.
it, man, oh, you speaking right now, bro. You speaking in my spirit because it's not okay. It's not what I can tell you, but it don't matter what I say. What do I
Exactly.
do? What am I doing? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It ain't about what I'm saying, it's about what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I can get up here and talk all this shit, you know. I can get up here and just run my mouth. But what am I doing in my own community? What am I doing in my own family? You know, I'm a big proponent on what it takes to change some shit because one thing about us is we're not pushing our own narrative.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I really believe in that first. No one can say who is in control of our outlook. You know how the world looks at us. We're not in control of that.
Fact.
How in the fuck can can you not be in control of how the world looks at you? That just doesn't make any sense. If somebody else is in control of how the world looks at you, how in the fuck can you ever prosper?
Fact, brother. I want to say peace to my beautiful wife, Mrs. The Enemy's Public. She's you know,
Salute
joined
to you,
us
sister.
in the chat.
Always salute to you, sister.
Um, yeah, brother, you know, when we speak about being brothers, we speak about being friends, you know, that's something that we shouldn't take lightly. And that's and I don't use the word, I don't call anybody that. There's something that we have to not just give to people. They have to earn that. And if that person, I'm not saying not to be a forgiving brother when somebody may make a mistake and do a indiscretion. Yet if that person is constantly, because you are a forgiving person, takes your meekness for a weakness, then you have to be like, you know what? I gotta cut that person off.
Facts.
It's not really for that you cutting them off. My
And you
sentiment,
don't even have to be
you
mean
cutting them
about it.
off
You don't
from hurting them because you may have
right.
to
You
hurt
don't
them so to get them away from you.
right. That's a fact. And you don't gotta be mean about it. You don't gotta be an asshole about it. You can just say, hey, you don't gotta say nothing.
Exactly.
Just remove yourself from the situation. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? My mom said, when you love a motherfucker, but they don't love you the same way, feed their ass with a long handle spoon.
Long handle spoon. When they
That's what my
invite
mom
you to
told
stuff,
me.
don't go. Don't invite
Exactly.
them to nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just
When you
just stay
speak to
away
them, just
from
speak to them on some real shit and be on your own way.
it.
And
Exactly.
and, and that's kind of where I'm at. Um, and I'm not trying to be a dick to nobody. I ain't trying to make nobody feel no type of way, but I'm on my own journey. And if you're not along my journey, then that's okay. That's okay. But I don't have to take up my time to shorten up or prolong my journey for you. You see what I'm saying?
Indeed.
That's why I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't have to listen. My journey ain't about you, it's about me. Maybe along my journey, I might come back around to you. But for right now, you're not, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna love you from over here. How about that?
You have to earn your place. The person got to earn their place, especially when
So I'm
that
not
person.
wrong. I'm
What?
not wrong
No,
once
you're
again.
not. You're not wrong. If that person want that place, they have to earn that place, especially when they had that place and they messed it up. They got to re-earn it to get back. They have to re-earn it. Because just because a person is you knew them a long time, or it's a blood relative or family member, that don't mean that you have to be around that person. It don't mean that. Especially if that person means you absolutely no good. If that person fraternize with those who will hurt you, or if that person it aids in your downfall or associate with anybody in your downfall, to me, you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice when it comes to me, because for one, you only have one life, and you live that life to the fullest. And when you get older, you have no time for foolishness. You have no time to be
Don't mean to
bickering.
cut you off. Can I say something to you real quick?
Yes, sir.
Cause
Say what you feel, brother.
look, like I said, I'm about to be 38 here really soon, and I feel like the older I get, the less I tolerate bullshit. If that makes any sense, I just don't. I don't really care anymore. And I hate that I don't care no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always cared about everybody, but I'm just starting to just not give a fuck. Like, bro, if you still stuck on stupid, then I kind of got to leave you right here, because I can't stop my movement to stay here with you
I don't
and
even
kind
think
of
it's.
dig you out of your own hole. I've already dug myself out of my own hole.
I
I
don't
don't
think
have
it's you don't
time to
care.
sit here and dig you out of your hole.
I
I don't
don't.
know, bro.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's that you don't care, especially when if you're telling somebody to come on and they don't. That's not you not caring. It's just them not getting up and moving. If you're saying come on, let's go, and that person is stagnated, that's not on you, brother. It's not on you. Because for one, you're a family man. You don't have time for that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You don't have time for that. You're a family man.
I'm working hard to keep
And
my
you have
family
one
intact.
and you have one life, brother. One life. Nobody's
Yeah.
supposed to be hindering you and hindering your happiness in your life. If somebody's hindering your happiness in your life, that person is not good for you, and stay away from that person and keep that person away from you. I don't care
That's
who it
facts.
is.
That's
I don't
facts.
care who it is. Keep that person away from you. You know
You know,
why?
especially with it. Oh, go ahead.
Because
I'm sorry. No disrespect. Go ahead.
a lot of times when a person is unhappy, they don't want to be happy alone, brother.
Mm-hmm.
They want somebody unhappy with them. And the most people that will want somebody unhappy with them, a relative will want a relative unhappy with them. That's most case scenario. A relative will want a relative unhappy with them.
Misery loves company type shit.
Exactly. That's the saying. Misery loves company. They'll say they're happy.
So there's nothing wrong for me just saying, hey man, I ain't got time for it. I love you, but I ain't got
That's
time
it.
for it, man. I gotta do me.
That's it. You got to do you. Because the person will say they happy, yet if they are busy causing mischief, how are you happy? If you was happy, you would be too busy being happy than to cause mischief and somebody you say you loves life. If that's your friend and your friend is, you see your friend is happy, they're working and doing their thing, and yet the only thing you could think of is bringing your foolishness in your friend's life or hindering and come between what your friend or relative have going on.
It's a fact.
That's a hindrance. So
Even
that
even
person,
look, even if that person is in a bad way, even if their relationship ain't in a good way, let them understand their own situation. Let them go through their own shit so that they can learn on their own.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't get involved with.
See
You
what I'm
know,
saying? Like that's how
yeah,
I am. That's how I am, G. And I'm young. Like I still feel like I'm young, even at my age. I still feel like I'm young because I speak to so many elders. I speak to so many grown motherfuckers that I know not to get into somebody else's shit. If that's their growing experience, that's their learning experience, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and handle that. I don't have nothing to do with it. I'm gonna step off to the side. I love you for who you are, and that's just what it is, you know. So, um, damn, man, you know, I always wanted to understand why everybody come to me, but I don't fuck with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll speak to certain people about certain things, but for the most part, man, I don't really just I don't mess with nobody, man. My father always told me, he said, Trey, if you want to stay out of trouble, stay out the way. And that's what
exactly.
I'm doing, just staying out the way. I don't got no smoke for nobody. I don't got no problem with nobody. I'm staying out the way. I go to work, I come home, I take care of my family. That's it. And if anybody has any smoke with that, that's on you. I really ain't got nothing to argue with you about. That's who I am. I stay out the way, I go to work, I come home, and I take care of my family. And that's what I'm doing for right now, you know?
That's it. That's all there is. Well, that's really all there is to do. You know, for a man my age, anyway. You know, I'm 3 years shy of 60, so that's all I could do. I go to work and I come home, and
You
that's
know what's
it.
crazy though? I'm still a warrior though, man. I
Yeah, I
still want to
mean,
fight. I swear to God, I still want
definitely
to. I
that's
want to.
in my
I want to
blood.
beat a nigga, bro. I want to beat. I want to beat somebody up. I want to fight for this shit because I feel like I'm the last of a dying breed when it comes to fighting for this shit. I really like. I'm one of them ones, man. I'm a wild Indian, for real, bro.
You are
Like
one.
dead
You are
ass.
that. You are in that generation. You know that. You know people my age created. You know what I'm saying? You are
Yeah,
that generation.
absolutely,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
You are like our children. You know what I'm saying? My generation's children.
And I know we ain't no pussies. We ain't no punks, man. Get the man, bro. Try me if you want to. I'm punching you in your face.
the only thing wrong with your generation, and it's the same thing that was wrong with my generation, is we had the warrior spirit, yet we aimed our guns at the wrong people. That's the only thing.
Mm,
That's
you
the only
better
thing,
talk
bro.
your motherfucking shit, G.
You
Oh
know what
my
I'm saying? We
God.
aimed our guns
You
at the
know
wrong
what?
people. That's all.
OG, you know what? No, excuse me. I'm sorry. Dude, you just said something that really struck a nerve with me. And that is that we're pointing the gun at the wrong motherfuckers.
Yeah. And
Man,
it's
but
pardon
we
me
have
one
to,
second.
but hold on. No, it takes us
It's
to
not
do
to
it.
advocate pointing guns at
No, no,
anybody.
no, 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 no,
Yet
no, no.
yet
We're
listen
not
to what I'm
advocating.
saying.
No, go ahead. My bad.
Listen to what I'm saying. It's not that I'm advocating doing it with anybody. What I'm saying is know who your enemy is. Know who your enemy
Exactly.
is and point your gun at who point them at you. Not
Exactly.
when I say this, I don't mean your
No,
brother
I
on the
understand
street.
exactly what
I
you're
don't mean
saying.
your brother on the street. I don't mean getting into some stupid violence. I don't mean that. I mean like when when somebody's
I
coming
understand
at
who the
our
target is.
people, we organize, strategize, deputize, and we
Hmm.
handle our
Hmm.
business as a unit, as a people. You know,
Can I
because
ask you a question?
go ahead, good
Because
brother.
on some real shit, yo. Um, I'm thinking about what was the name of that group? What was the name of that group? The NFAC,
Yes,
right? Um, I agreed with the group, didn't agree with the leader. I felt like he was arrogant. I felt like he was a little bit beside himself or beyond himself. But the group and the thought process behind the group
Yes.
I'm with that shit. I'm fucking with that shit.
I appreciate the
Yeah.
whole sentiment of the NFAC because and
Yes,
anybody
yes,
say that
absolutely.
NFAC shouldn't exist are fools because
They're absolutely fucking
there's
fools.
so many damn militias on this in the United States,
Why we can't have
and
one?
we supposed
Why
to
we
have
can't have one?
militias in the event that the government become tyrannical.
Why we
We
can't
supposed
have
to
one?
have we supposed to
Every
have
single every single one
organized,
that we've ever had, bro.
strategize, deputize, and be organized. We're not
They
supposed to
don't.
just walk around carrying guns, being thugs. No, if we're organized, we're strategized, and we're out here for a purpose, and we're not out here being marauders. We're out here to protect our people. We have the right to do that. We have the
What?
right.
Look, I'm not gonna be no punk bitch, right? And sit up here and say why we can't do that. No, what pisses me off is that we won't do it. Man, fuck a group. We should be a group amongst our fucking selves. Enemies public. I'm not trying to get all hyped up on your channel, my G, but goddamn, why do we not have our own militias? Why do we not have our own army? Why do we not have our own police force to look out for our own people? Why in the fuck do we keep on looking to someone else to protect us and they don't give a
We don't have to ask
Mm,
permission. We don't have to ask permission
we
to do
don't.
none of that.
You fucking right, we don't.
We don't. We could just do it.
I'm gonna be
You know,
quiet. I'm gonna be
it's
quiet. You
just
got
that
it, G.
we don't want to do it. We don't want to be unorganized in anything we do. We want to be organized, and we want to do it to the point that nobody could come and infiltrate us. It had to be so tight because whenever it's an unwritten law. It may not be in the Constitution or laws, but it's an unwritten law that we must not be able or not be allowed to organize. It's an unwritten law. We at all costs cannot organize.
Just like we can't get together, just like we can't get together on the block. You know what I'm saying? You can't even get together on the block with your homeboy.
Nope. It's suspicious. Our organization, merely organizing, we're considered you know, we're suspicious and we're considered domestic terrorism. The fact that we organize and when we do organize, serve as a threat to tyranny, they call that BIE,
Well, can I
Black
ask you a question?
Identity Extremists. We organize and we are so in love with our people. If you in love with yourself and your people, they call that Black Identity Extremist.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Okay, so if they call us that, right? What is the point of that? I think the point of that is so that we don't do that. Just like um growing your hair out used to be a bad thing because I feel like if you grow your hair out, nigga, you gonna look like them fucking Egyptian people that's on the wall. You gonna look like the
But listen
Mayans,
to what
nigga,
I'm
if you grow
saying.
your
But
hair out.
listen to what I'm saying though, brother. When we form militias and we protect our people and we're in love with our people, they call us Black Identity Extremists. When white people do the same, what are they called? Why are they called white supremacists? They're supreme, but we're extreme.
Right, right. I think purposely because we've been fighting for so long. Them wild Indians been fighting for so long. I believe personally, they want to keep us from that in every facet. They don't want us to see anything showing that we're fighters. I think that's why they gave us that slavery shit so they could show us getting whipped and shit so that it would keep us from being like them warriors that we really are.
It's
Cause
fear mongering.
I know what's bred in me, bro. I'm a warrior, bro. I'm
It's
this
fear
age and I'm
mongering. That
still
is
ready to
fear
bust off.
mongering. That's what there is, but that's fear mongering. When they show those slave movies, that is fear mongering, trying to instill fear through so-called entertainment because they know they can't come and do that for real. So they'll put it on in a movie. They'll put it in a movie. Let me tell you something. when we're approached, they approach us. If they don't have a weapon, they know it has to be more than one of them. They know it does.
That's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact. And they better be strong. They
either
better be
they're
strong.
gonna have
They
a
really
weapon
better be
on
strong.
them, or they're gonna have more than one of them.
And they better be ready because they know, bro, you saying exactly what I've been thinking. And I know you're right because we are weapons all in itself. Our energy is a weapon. Literally, our energy is a weapon. That's why when they pull up on us, they already ready to do something to us because they already know, bro, at any split second, bro, we can do something to you to fuck you up and we ain't got to think
And it's
about it.
not even necessarily how we feeling. That's not even
Exactly.
necessarily how we
Bro,
feeling.
you said, look, you said it. I ain't say it, you said it. But that's some real motherfucking shit. OG, man, that's why I love talking to you, bro, because you already understand exactly how the fuck I feel. My spirit is fiery as shit. I'm telling you, I'm ready for all the shits. I just want to see our people come together and do it together because we can't do it individually. And that's just fact.
Nah, because when you try to do things individually, you know, when we're apart, we get caught one by one. When we're together, they can't do nothing with us. So the best thing for us to do is stick together. Because they know if they divide us, they can just, you know, they can conquer us.
That's a fact.
People,
That's a
divide
fact.
and conquer is real. It's a
Everybody
real
having
thing.
different thoughts, right? But if you got a group of motherfuckers, right, and one person had a right thought, the rest of them people gonna follow that thought. Like, yo, yep. We fuck with that. Yep, we riding with that. Let's do that. But if you divide everybody, those are all different type of thoughts, and that's divide and conquer.
Because it's been times, man, when, you know, 5-0 rolled on brothers and they stuck together. They couldn't do nothing with them. But when they started running and splitting up, they caught them one by one. But if they stuck together, they couldn't do nothing when they stick together. And that's what, and that's with everything. Not
That's
necessarily
because
fighting or not. That's with everything. If we stick together and let everybody know that we're serious and okay, you're not needed down here. We got this. We have a store. Okay, this brother got a store selling this. This brother got a store selling this. This sister got a store selling this. This sister got a store selling that. And everybody supplying each other's needs. That's what it's about. Once we all start supplying each other's needs, we don't need to go outside our community to get
right.
anything.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Well,
Anything.
can I ask you? Can I ask you something though? Then why are okay? Why are we? Let me get this question right. Why are we such a big commodity all over the world, and at the same time, none of the world likes us? Let me put it like that.
Can you repeat that, brother? The first part.
Okay. So why are we, as quote unquote black people in America, why are we the highest commodity but get paid the less? I guess I'll put it like that.
Because we are the most useful people. And when I say useful, I mean it in a good way. We're
No, I
resourceful,
understand that.
and we're useful. That means that we are idealistic. We come up with stuff. We come up with better ways of doing stuff. We invent stuff. When we get involved in anything, we make it better. That's why. That's why we're such a commodity. Because anything that we touch and we get involved with, either we bring it forth, if it already exists, we make
I,
it better.
I'm sure you know this, my brother. We spend more money than what I'll say 90% of the countries all across the world even make. We spend more money than they make.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So that means that we are a powerhouse all in our own. So come on, y'all. Off that alone, let's do it. We spend more than these motherfuckers even make. Come on, y'all. God
Peace.
damn.
Dominic, peace. How you doing, good brother?
Pretty good. How you
That's
doing?
real talk. How you doing, brother? Salute to you.
Salute to you guys. Sorry about that, Enemy. I was looking forward to chit chatting with you earlier tonight, but I had some electrical things I had to do. So darn.
It's good to have you on the panel, brother.
Thank you.
You got the floor, man. Go ahead.
Oh no, I have to ease in.
Okay, that's all good.
But I did hear you guys. I was listening to earlier before I jumped on.
Yeah, I mean, we've been a commodity for a long time.
Hey, can I say something real quick? Hey, OG, do you realize that we are the algorithm? We are literally. I don't give a fuck how you place this algorithm. I don't care where you put it at. I don't care where you put the spin in. I don't care where you put any of that, bro. We are the shit, bro. I'm sorry.
If
And I'm not trying to listen. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. I ain't trying to act like we stand above nobody, but we are the motherfucking shit. The American Indian, the real motherfuckers, the real Ententans, the real Amaru are the shit of the whole world, bro. We have created so much shit that the world used. What have anybody else done that we haven't? Come on, man.
Brother, you are absolutely correct. But I just wish that more of us understood that what you just said. Enough of us don't understand that. We have to realize who we are and what we are. We have to realize that. And the fact that they say people make the world go around, but it's a certain people, not everybody. It's a certain people.
You know, electricity comes from carbon.
Exactly.
Electricity comes from carbon. There is no world spinning without us. We are the energy base of the world. You get rid of us, there is no more world.
We have to
Well,
realize.
guess what? My name is Realize with triple R. Real eyes, realize the real lie.
Okay.
And I understand what the fuck these people are trying to do. They're not going to do it on my watch. As long as I have breath in my body, I'm going to make sure that my people know what's up. Even if they don't want to listen right now, I'll at least just put a bug in their ear.
Indeed. I mean, that's once a person, once a person know, and not necessarily know, but when you're telling somebody they know, but before you walk away from them, be sure that they understand, because a lot of times with all I get understanding. That's the best part. Understanding is the best part of everything. See, a lot of us, when we speak, we may even have the knowledge. We may be articulate and have the knowledge, or we may even be absolutely telling the truth. We may be even telling the truth. Yet, if we don't have an understanding of that truth, because somebody may raise their hand and ask you to explain it to them to give them the understanding, but you can't give them the understanding if you understand yourself.
That's a fact.
So you gotta understand. Understanding is the best part.
Hit the nail on the motherfucking head, G. If you can't understand yourself, how the fuck can you understand somebody else? If you don't understand yourself, if you don't have love in yourself, how can you love someone else? Bro,
and how can you make somebody understand if you understand yourself? How can you make somebody understand if you don't understand yourself? Even if you are giving them the truth, you have to understand the truth that you're telling. Because somebody may say, can you please explain it to me, because I don't understand. But if you don't understand, how could you make somebody else understand?
That's a fact. It's about you though. Because if you can't understand yourself, you can't understand what the fuck you even reading or even taking. You have to understand yourself as a man or a whoa man. Because I believe that the woman is the motherfucker that be like, whoa man, calm down, nigga, chill out.
That's what I was taught.
I always put the woman, a little higher than us, because nigga, Ain't no babies coming out our balls. Ain't
She's
no
the
babies
first
coming out our
everything, brother.
nuts. None
She's
of
the
that.
first
So
everything.
exactly. So I hold the woman in a different standard. I hold her higher than us. We the gods, but we couldn't be gods without the God.
You're the mother of God.
Exactly. So I'm not fake with my shit, and I'll come up on any, and you know this. Come on, cuz you know this. I'll come up on anybody panel and say this shit. I know who I am, but it's
Exactly.
gonna take all of us
And can't
to
nobody
change this
dispute
shit.
that. Anybody try to dispute you telling people who you are, that's a fool. That's a fool. But we have people that in you at understanding who you are, they'll try to tell you who you are. That's what we need to get out of. But I can't tell you who you are. Who you say you are, I'm gonna say, okay, brother, that's who you are. But some people, they'll show you who they are without telling them, without telling you with behavior.
No, you right, bro. You right. And you know, as a man, I'm about to get back from here because I gotta go to work in the morning. Gotta hit the plantation. But on some real shit, man, it's time for people to start to understand that it's about you. It's about you and your family. What you gonna do to change shit in your own family? You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to stand up to that family member that's just an asshole? You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to take that chance to say, hey, this is what it is, this is how I feel, and no one is gonna change that? You know, are you willing to stand on your square? And that's what it has come to for me personally. And I'm willing to stand on my square. So I just ask everybody, man, are you willing to stand on your square? Are you willing to do what it takes to actually make a change? Because it's not online where you're gonna make a change. It's in the neighborhood. You know, it's
Indeed.
with the youngsters. You know what I'm saying? It's with the people that you come in contact with every day. Are you gonna take the chance to talk to these people that don't want to have nothing to do with your motherfucking ass? Do you have the nuts to speak to them? I do. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you, bro, for letting me come
Brother,
up, for letting me speak my piece. I'm gonna step down, but on some real shit, that's what I want to leave y'all with, man. Step up, step out, and get in these streets because they need you.
I appreciate you and your contribution, brother. I thank you for coming through. And just know that this is home to you, brother. Just know that. Respect
Thank
and
you
honor.
all.
Respect and honor to you,
Salute.
brother.
Man, thank you all. Thank you so much. The enemy's public. Thank you so much. Thank all of y'all, man, for just being who you are. It's time to step up and step out. It's fucking time. All this other bullshit, none of this shit matters. If you ain't in warrior mode, I don't know where you at. Cause we've been in war. We've been at war for a long fucking time.
Well,
What are we gonna do about it?
I see it like this, brother. You realize it. You know what I'm saying? It's synonymous to your name, brother. I mean, it's crazy how many times I said that when what I'm saying to you is synonymous to your name. We don't realize that war has been waged against us on all levels, yet we just don't engage. And it's not necessarily violence. We don't engage in any war that's been waged against us. When you say war, people automatically think violence. And it's not only violence. Violence that's evident. You can see that. But it's the hidden subtleties of the wars that's waged against us on all levels. We've been doing this series, Divorce in the System. All these topics that we touched on, divorce in the systems, those are the wars that has been waged against our people. But some of us will believe that everything is okay, and it's not a war being waged against us. Our children are being miseducated. That they're putting the wrong foods in the supermarkets. They're, the police, the medicine, so-called medicine, which is really not medicine, it's drugs. Medicine and drugs is not the same thing. People need to understand that. When you go to the doctor, they're writing a prescription to give you something to suffer peacefully, but it's not getting rid of the ailment. It's just stopping the pain. Most of us just don't want to feel pain, and we'll take the so-called medicine to get rid of the pain, but we're suffering peacefully and we're still sick. And eventually that don't even work. Then they gotta prescribe something even more stronger, and we don't realize that the food has drugs in it, and they got the FDA. The food that we eat today, later on in life, it will be drugs administered to you. That's food and drug administration. We got to realize what's going on. We have to realize what's going on with our people, and it's not, I'm dealing with my people, yet it's a classification, because the so-called elite don't care about nobody, not even poor white people. They don't care nothing about it. But what's crazy about poor white people think they better than you for the mere fact that they're white, and they're being mistreated by the same wicked devil. Once they get,
Can I speak on that just real
once
quick?
they
Oh
get
my
their
God.
minds right, once they get their minds right, it's on.
Well, you know what? Let me talk to you, white Americans. Ah, you came over here as slaves, as Slavs. Um, whether you know it or not, you were the first slaves of America. Um, I know it's hard to hear, but it's the truth. I've done the research, and the whole shit was taught in reverse because your um your upper echelon, quote unquote, wants to be in control. Why do you think they don't give a shit about you? They don't give a shit about you like they don't give a shit about us. Why do you think that is
That's why
a
they lie,
factor?
brother. Realize that's why they lie.
I
When you
know
have
that,
to
brother.
lie, when you have to cheat, when you have to steal, great people don't do that. Great people don't have to do that. When you have to lie, steal, and cheat, that, you're not great doing that. And that's the reason why they don't want real history taught. They call it critical race theory because they don't want people to find out that they are not as great as they say they are. We're as great as they say they are. They don't want people to find that out because why? They don't want their children to know how ungreat they are.
I'm about to get off my G, but I'm gonna say this. This is my last plane, and I'm gonna land this motherfucker. Yo, real talk. We know who we are. Um, we are the builders and consumers of the whole world. And if we cannot be respected, we will not respect anybody else. If you don't like what I gotta say, then fuck you too. But at the end of the day, I know that we the shit. You might not like it, but god damn it, we are. And I'll land right there. I love you, my brother.
I
Peace and
love you too,
salute.
good brother. Again, this is home, brother.
All right, man. I love
All
y'all,
right.
man. Salute, man. Peace.
Peace. Salute. My brother Dominique.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, how's it going?
You want to tag in, brother?
Oh yeah, I was enjoying listening to a young soul talk. I guess when I'm hearing, where do we get our enslavement from? From the external or from the thoughts? Not to take away from the external, because we do have receptors. That's where we perceive pain.
Agreed.
So when am I attached to the body? If a person realizes you're not attached to the body, how can somebody even enslave me unless I'm attached to it?
Agreed.
So now when we start dividing that attachment by the gender that I am, by the color I am, that person's already gone down a journey that they really don't understand themselves. This is where we get the concept of whether people like to play the ideal tree of life. Understanding does occur, but you have to have discernment first.
Okay.
You have to have the feminine side, the yin side, the negative side. We all have that built in ourselves, but we get attached to that we are the physical, so therefore I must be a male. I must be European. I must be Catholic. Those are our personas. Even when I hear the word we, the we's inside with all the different receivers that I have inside of me. I can see you. I'm going to call you by the name that I'm pretty sure your mom gave you a beautiful name, but enemy, where I can see you, but I'm not inside of you. So I can only perceive what I see from the outside, but from within myself. So now, young gentleman that was here, he's very passionate.
Yes.
There's a lot of beings that have done a lot of work. Humans, yeah, they participate, but the being part, doesn't matter the shades where we're in. I don't value the concept of black and white. I value shades. Because really, how do we differentiate a black phone from a human being that's dark skinned? I'm European, so if I'm with an albino, today I'm dark skinned. If I'm with a Nigerian, today I'm a light skinned person. That's just the personas that we play.
That's a good analogy too.
That's all it is. So now, if we don't understand our feminine side, then what am I building with? You know, like that. And when I say feminine, I'm not talking about just the sexual energy. I'm talking about.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. That's the nurturing part of you.
Yes, but that's the unknown part. This is where the feminine side usually does everything privately in the household.
Exactly.
Men can address their women with their feminine energy too. No different. A woman can address a man publicly with their masculine energy.
Yes.
It's karma. So, but when we get caught up thinking that, well, our race, which is the human race, but then we divide it by saying different genders are not different genders. Well, that person's African, that person's Asian, that person. We are one race. Unfortunately, I don't recall in history we ever worked collectively. But then again, what race is creating the internet?
I really don't. Pardon me. I really don't subscribe to, diminishing myself based on a landmass or none of that. I don't do that because I am bigger than a landmass.
I'm with you.
I don't do that. And as far as slavery, it's a mindset.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because some people have the slave mentality.
And you can actually be in a privileged position and have that same slave mentality.
Yes, you can. Yes, because it's classism. It's classism.
Yes.
It's really classism. As a like I tell poor Caucasian people, they don't care about you either.
They don't care about themselves.
And a lot of them don't care about themselves.
That's
but the so-called elitists don't care about them either. So if you have the mindset that you're better than somebody because of the color of your skin, just know that they don't care about you or me.
Yeah, and again, even if they say, well, Dominic, let's say I don't care. I said, that's no concern to me. I'm hoping that you have discernment. Like,
exactly.
For me, around Europeans, I've been privileged in a sense. Privileged because I live in a country of Canada. It's privilege. A lot of stuff we have is privilege. Where I had the opportunity of being around Jamaican, Barbados, Filipinos, Scottish, and Irish, because I played a lot of sports. So I never stuck to one particular sport. So I saw the gambit, even like with cricket and all that. But when I really saw myself, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to fit in, but I can never fit in. Because I'm who I am, and I'm still growing. I'm going to have my securities. I'm going to have my insecurity. I don't identify myself, even though I do need to identify by, say, Dominic. My name is Dominic. Okay, I'll identify, but that's not who I am. Because if that's who I am, then I would have to explain, so who's running the body when I'm asleep? I know a lot of people don't want to entertain that, but that's why we get caught up in all our different
Good
dogmas.
question.
They are. That's all they are, questions. And when a person realizes if there's even an answer, then they're their own unicorn at that point. How would they?
It's something to ponder.
Yeah, I like the word ponder. Yeah, or perhaps ponder. Yeah, everything's a pondery. But if we go in thinking there's an answer, well, then what is the answer? 2? 1 + 1 is 2. Well, then what about 100 - 98? We can use different equations to get the same
Exactly.
result.
Indeed.
But it's nice when we start thinking, okay, if we're going to do this, how about we change the outcome and also change all the different questions? A lot of people don't realize we're just battering back and forth our programs by saying, well, we're better than them, or they think they're better than us. But that's a trickery of the mind. Because how would I gauge that? How would I tell somebody else, well, Dominic, you have this? I'm like, okay, what do I have? What do you mean? Well, having one thing and try to maintain are two different things.
I agree because people say they're better without being better.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way to be better, not necessarily, as a group of people, but as an individual, you can be better. The best way to be better than somebody, and it have to be specific, is to be better.
Hopefully for yourself, because really, I could be born with I could play like Michael Jordan. He was born with certain gifts, and then if he harnessed them,
that's what I mean.
Even born. There's no way I would be missing the opportunity of appreciating his craft if I'm too busy thinking this is me against him.
Exactly.
I think we're roughly the same age. I remember when I used to hang out with my dad at the mall and hear all these older men, and of course they see this younger guy, so they figured it's a freelance on me. And I'm like, my dad's like, Dom, are you gonna button up? I said, no, Dad, I don't button up. Where these men start talking about, oh, in our day we were better with money. So of course I perk up and I'm like, okay, so guys, let me understand this. Human behavior never really changes. And the reason why you guys think you're better with money because they never had all these other devices. Or we were better, we didn't have all these attachments. I said, because you didn't have all these cell phones and all that. Human behavior does not change. Most people, even in their own family, play this hierarchy game with each other. Now, we could play the game of firstborn, but
that's significant that you will say that too, because if you look at the information today versus the information years ago, 60s, 70s, 80s, and even the early 90s, the information is more prevalent and it's more accessible, in comparison to the information back when I was growing up. And what I try to make people understand when they talk about the lack of knowledge somebody had, or the lack or if somebody didn't do what people today said they shouldn't do, like so-called leaders or people who stood and acted on our behalf, they didn't do certain things. And I always tell people that they did the best with the knowledge that they had at their time. They didn't have all this what we have today. I didn't have this growing up, what we have today. None of it. Computer, we didn't have that. We played little games, and we had little computers, but we played little games, and they was for school for us like a internet and being able to communicate with somebody. That was only seen on the Jetsons. We weren't able to do that, but now information is so accessible, and a lot of our people, when we get our eureka moments, when we're searching for knowledge, we tend to disrespect, dishonor those who actually inspire us to seek knowledge in the first place. Which is backwards. When somebody tell you to seek knowledge and you seek knowledge and you turn around and disrespect the person who told you to seek knowledge, that's just totally dishonoring. That's really dishonoring yourself, not that person. You're dishonoring yourself and you're being ungrateful. because you learned something that your teacher that told you to inspire to knowledge, you stick your chest out and thinking you could beat the sensei. This what a lot of us do. We get a black belt, now we want to challenge the sensei, not knowing that the sensei is the sensei. You may be just arriving at the black belt, but the sensei is a grand master. He still can beat your ass. That's our mentality. And some of us don't even become black belts. When I say black belt, I don't mean like, with the karate. I'm just using that terminology because I know it. Some of us would not even go that far. We may have a purple belt or orange belt or a green belt, and we won a few fights, and we think we can challenge the sensei to get smacked around.
I think, enemy, what happens is the sensei is there usually to be the division between knowledge and wisdom.
Exactly.
So knowledge is important to have. It usually reveals to a lot of people their ego. In the ancient times, even today, there's people that choose to be scholars, which is okay. It's just a form of, you learn how to read. So you
That only means you study.
Yeah, you start. Doesn't mean you have comprehension skills.
Exactly. You have to me, always out of everything, comprehension, understanding is the best part.
Mm-hmm.
The best part.
And then there's people that take information orally. But in the ancient time, even today, there was people that didn't do either one. They were very intuitive. They were insightful.
Exactly.
They were picking information in thoughts and prior to thoughts. So the person that wants to challenge the sensei, as you're saying, the question I would have to say to the person that wants to challenge it, do you want to go beyond knowledge now? Because there's people that know how to work with energy.
Indeed.
So now this is where biblical stories, when they talk about the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that's the tree of knowledge. That's all that is.
Yes.
It's just one step above belief system. But there was a light between that and the tree of life, wisdom and understanding. The ego is the one that perks up and says, I know a lot. I said, okay, so explain to me why the number 9 always adds up back to number 9 when you multiply with anything except for 0.
Because the number 9 in supreme mathematics is born or existence. And number 9, and if you look at the number 9, it's synonymous to birth.
Mm-hmm. Well, part of the number 9 is that's the number that gauges the spiritual meets the material.
Exactly.
So it's number 8's the material number. But for a lot of people, they'll know how to use number 9 when it comes to adding and how to gauge what they call time. But that's knowledge. Nothing wrong with knowledge.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's to know something. But it's the essence to things that most people never seek. So now, this is where wisdom and understanding. People say the word understand. And if they understand something, they'll realize, Dominic, but I understand you. I said, then you don't understand it. The word gives it away. You have to understand oneself, whatever that may be to them, because the self is just a program, the ego. Then you can observe the self, and then there's the observer that observes that. Then you realize, oh, wait a second. Then where's all the words I speak to all these objects? You realize you're in an objective realm. This is why we have people that are ascended masters, because they got to play around with descended slaves, because their job is to anchor this realm. This is a playground, but at the same time,
definitely
there's rulers here. And it's like if me and you were in a kingdom where there was either Orientals or European mafia, we have to respect that we're in their kingdom. But most people, they disrespect this kingdom. They say the word respect. Respect just means to consider. Does people do they truly consider other people? They say, well, Dominic, but I'm listening to you. I said,
exactly.
You're not listening. Yeah. Because when you're listening, what me and you are doing right now, we're hearing each other. Hence the word ear in it. Listening is what people call meditation. You got to listen from within. Hence why the Buddha said, let me fast and then let me meditate. Let me abstain from eating because something's functioning in my body when I eat my food. And then let me meditate because now I'm going to listen to whatever's been running my body the whole time. That's not the job of the ego, but that's the ego. That's what I'm saying. There's a young soul that I was hearing. He thinks there's some sort of bag he has to fight outside. It's us against them. Well, who's the us that you're talking about? Isn't that what dogmas do? This is why when I said last night with Oji, how many people are truly willing to divorce their community? Because that's just one step. When are you going to start divorcing oneself? Have that revolution from within so that the self knows
That's
its
where it
place.
starts.
You would think so, but there's so many conditioning going on before we even have a chance to do that. A lot of that has to be done from within the womb. And then we start seeing our own people, whoever they may be, meaning the people in our immediate community, and say, well, then if I'm in this community, why are we reliant on an outside community funding all our stuff? Now, the people that are all upset, they're usually not developed emotionally, so they're actually with their feelings. So they lead with their feelings, but they're not developed feelings. Well, we want to take over. I said, but you're not the ones that even make it. So why would you take over a system that if everybody knew how an American Canada runs, they realize, so I'm buying a dead country? Yeah. It's a game that's been played on for a long time.
That's what you're inheriting.
Yeah. Even when with the story of Jesus, whether people want to understand that's astrology or not, when they were saying that the guy that betrayed him with 30 pieces of silver, it tells you where the economic was. They weren't trading anymore in gold. So it was devalued. Now they're playing with silver. But people want to, they want, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, enemy.
The standard lowered.
It does. Fiat currency. Yeah, fiat currency. We're at the back end now with fiat currency. Digital is just to keep it alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, exactly. It's on its deathbed, and digital is just the what you call it, the life support.
Mm-hmm. But they're going to add things to it, such as the credit system. They're going to have expiry dates and all that. But people think they're supposed to fight. I said, no, you're still missing it. This is a realm that's ruled. There's people that rule, energies that rule the plants, rules the waters. Humans, we keep forgetting. I love it when humans say, well, we're the world. No, you're just one part of it.
It's all energy.
Yeah, I'm with you there. We're all energy using energy.
It's all energy. Yeah. Even the digital currency is all energy.
Well, we're going to give energy to it by using our energy to
exactly because we're lending our energy to it, mm-hmm. and it's synonymous to currency. Mm-hmm. People just don't get it when they're so adamant about telling you to engage in this stuff. And I just tell people that I encounter, look, mm-hmm. nothing is yours until you have it in your possession.
And even that, what is it? At that point, it's a privilege.
Exactly.
It's a privilege.
And then when, see, it's a controlled thing, especially mm-hmm. when it comes to the digital stuff, because if the people start, coming together and dealing with tyranny, with that much control over your money, because it's digital, they hit a button and your money's gone. Mm-hmm. It's depleted, it's gone. And people don't realize that. So I don't get excited when the people start talking about get Bitcoin, get this coin, get that one. No, that's control. Mm-hmm. I mean, it took me the longest to get direct deposit because I don't trust the government. I don't like nobody controlling mine. I don't want to look into my account and found that because of what I say, i.e. Kanye West, that my funds been depleted because of what I say or because of what I'm affiliated with. They can go and hit a button and what I work for is gone. Nah, I don't like that kind of control. I don't like that. So when they introduce something to us that's innovative, my antennas go up because they always introduce something to our detriment as something innovative. That's been their track record.
I think enemy, whoever they are, let's for me, I'll just put that aside. Who runs governments? Are they aliens or humans? Obviously humans.
I only been here, a few years.
Okay. So let's play with the obvious. We'll lean
Yes,
towards something.
yes.
The
For the
humans.
sake of argument, yes. Humans.
Who's behind religion? Humans.
Yes.
Who's behind commerce? Humans. So when I hear people, it's like gold. You can melt gold to whatever is shape. It could be a necklace, melt it down, still gold. It could be a ring, melt it down, it's gold. So no matter what we melt, any of these dogma goes back to humans. So when I hear somebody say they don't trust government, it'd be easier to say, let's take accountability as humans. We don't trust ourselves. So it only makes sense that I'm not going to trust another person. That's why we should question ourselves, let alone question others. Now, whether or not it's a different human, it's still a human. It'd be like no different than somebody saying, I'm a commander, call myself Hitler. I've commanded a whole bunch of my captains to command a bunch of foot soldiers to kill another human being. Now we got to go backwards. We can't go to Hitler until everybody else takes accountability first. Everyone.
Yes.
Not a single
Yes.
soul could say, well, Dominic, but I don't agree with the system. It's okay. So you don't agree with the system. So what happened to the traditions? What do you mean? Well, traditions only die because you don't question them. Following them aimlessly is not a tradition. So now, how many people would say,
exactly.
where's the sun and moon have to be located if we're going to plant our seeds? I don't know. I said, so when did we give that up? And now this is the byproduct. We go to their grocery stores. We go to their farms. There's their trucks. Now, a person can say, but I don't agree with it. I said, put that aside. I'm asking for observations now. Agreeing or disagreeing is just people's likes and dislikes, which is fine. But that skews to see things for what they really are from the observer. Because most people do not take accountability for oneself.
That's where it starts. Self accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Before you look outside yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah, me, I'm the type of person. I scour the whole room and get a photographic memory of everything.
mm-hmm. You probably have that gift, and you probably know how to read the room.
That's what I do.
But most people, what they're doing, if there's a story, we'll call it the Bible with all these different stories. I said, you guys are still acting like Adam and Eve and the serpent. You're pointing fingers. If that was my forefathers, I would have given both a kick in the ass. I would have told Eve, what did the serpent say to you? Well, Eve said something about, did God say so? It was a question. Did God talk to your man? No. That was the ruling God. But it's just a story again. But even if it is real, because this is where people get into the whole ideal of truth, it's full of crap. You got to be honest with the self. Truth is its own energy. Most people will never get to that awareness. They'll say the word, like the word love. Most people, when they say the word love, what they're really showing the energy of, obligation and duty. Love is unconditional. How the heck do you give unconditional when you're in a conditioned form?
You can't give it. Exactly.
No.
You can't give unconditional love.
But what you could do is, son, not because you're going to tell him, but your son sees you caring for another human being's kid. That's the son's point of view from the observer. He gets to see the energy called love.
Exactly.
But we can say the word. No different person can say hate. I could say, yeah, you can say the word hate. But do you actually put the energy?
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same energy, but one just opposite.
Mm-hmm. Europeans, I'll give you an example. My aunts and all that. They'll say shit, but the energy they were most giving out, envy and jealousy. And most communities are the same way. Well,
yes. Yes.
But they have to be aware of themselves, not because I know them. I pick up the energy and say, oh, Dom, you're full of crap. Yes, I am. And I'm okay with that. What do you mean you're full of crap? Well, crap could be fertilizer. It could be toxic. It could be the kind of stuff that insects have to go on it. Only a person that asks questions would say, oh, so Dom, you broke it down. I said, yes. I'm not going to go around telling everybody everything. That's their responsibility. But if they want to share, I get it. We have communities that want to debate with each other. That's sports all over again, which is fun. I enjoy watching sports, but I don't get caught up only on the outcome. I wonder what those athletes have to do. Those athletes have to do when they get injured. What's the process? Is it just about winning and losing? For most people, that's all they want to see.
Yeah, the preparedness also.
Yes, but that's all they want to see. It's like playing chess. If a person really understands how to play chess and not focus only on winning or losing, they'll see more. It's like this saying, say, okay, you want to beat me, so now you're limiting yourself. Why? Because you're not going to see all the energy around me. And that's in any craft. But most people think knowledge comes from the physical. I said energy is everywhere. Your thoughts are energy, senses are energy, feelings and energy. Again, that's why we get the concept of all the different divisions that we have in dogmas, because we have that within ourselves. Now, when I hear the word mind, to me, it differentiates between the brain. It's like the aura, the ether. I'm just using words because, once again, how do we explain that to another person when they've experienced it and they say, well, Dom, intuitively, I grasp that. But the book, the way it's written, is totally different energy, because that's why we have to use discernment when we have teachings. I don't care who the teacher is. I'm more concerned about what did they leave. Because if they were alive, I said, don't worry about the written work. I want to see him by an example, so I can have discernment. Oh, I'm seeing enemy reading the room. How does he read it? I see an energy with him. He's actually doing it. But a lot of people don't see that. When I say a lot of people, that's overgeneralizing. We forget it. Then we reveal ourselves. When I hear people talk about, well, Dom, I'm self-aware. I said, that's your ego talking. What do you mean? Because aware self is different than self-aware. Like self-love opposed to loving the self. Our words give us a way, and how we even present ourselves. I used to be very passionate about a lot of things because I didn't have my throat chakra completely open. And what it did is like, Dom, you're over-dominating the conversation with your passion, but you haven't harnessed it yet. It's us against them. Okay, so who's them? That was a question I had to ask myself. Who is them? When you've never lived outside the vessel, Dom, so who's them? Are you upset with those people? Are you upset the fact that those people are meat eaters? Are you upset because those people are building a high rise? Are you upset with those people over there because they have a nice car? Well, first of all, did they even make the car? Well, not really. So then who are you really blaming here? People don't ever challenge themselves. They'll challenge others. Hence the terminology, know thyself. It was never know others. But I get it. If they want to do that, that's fine. When they start doing that community stuff, it's like any church or state. Look for the weakest link. That will tell you a lot about that community. Because there's a community helping their weakest link. More times than not, they're not. We do that as a race. I can't say I hate to say that. It's an observation. When we start strifing with each other as a human race, we're forgetting about the being part. People are too busy wanting to do shit, which is fine. Yeah. They want to experience that. Yeah. Yep. But hey, that's part of the experience. I enjoy playing sports. I enjoy computers. If I was just being, how would I touch the keyboard? You know, I understand that for myself. But a lot of people, they want to get into this argument. Like I remember hanging around a bunch of my uncles. They're old Italian men. I'm like, fuck, are you guys really even hearing each other?
That's why I don't engage in that. I have a conversation. You know, I don't get into debates because it's it's just not me. Mm-hmm. It's just not me. Yeah, I just have a conversation. I hear one's concerns or point of view, and I voice mine. And it's not a matter of trying to undermine the information someone's trying to give. It's about putting the information out, and if the information, if you believe and if you know the information that you're giving is the truth, if it is the truth, it will stand as the truth. Mm-hmm. And as far as the people choosing, it's like putting a clean glass next to a dirty glass, and you just let the people decide which glass they'll drink out of. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I'm with you. And that's it. We have the probably same makeup where people that want to argue or debate, I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's people out there that will have the same energy. When somebody tells me the truth, I said, now I have to go around finding out whether or not you're true to yourself. Because the truth does not defend or attack itself.
Truth needs no defense. It's going to be the truth whether you believe it or not.
But when the
truth don't go around saying, believe me.
But unfortunately, when people start talking loud, they start defending it or attacking others. I said, you're not true like a wheel. It doesn't need to be defended. Now,
and you're not certain either.
Yeah, and for me,
you're not certain if it's the truth. You say it and you let it stand there and let that truth linger. If you have you don't have to argue the truth. because it's going to be the truth, whether the person believes it or not.
Where I'm going with that enemy is, I've had conversations, I've heard people, when people start talking about morale, that's their intellect talking.
Exactly.
They're not bringing out their other part, the compassionate part. They're not bringing their yin and yang out. So when people talk about the truth, I said the truth doesn't need to be defended or attacked. It doesn't even need to be spoken. It doesn't even need to be spoken.
Exactly.
See, I talk to myself and I say the word honesty because I know I'm still full of shit. I'm not honest with myself.
That's a good word right there.
Yeah, but
they say that's a lonely word though, honesty.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm still the student. That's why I say it out loud. When I'm no longer, and I'm true with myself, with my honesty, then I go in a state of peace/silence. I will no longer say that word. I don't say the word belief. I know it exists. I just don't value it. I come down to knowledge. Don't mean I go up to knowledge. I come down to knowledge because I want to play with wisdom and understanding.
Indeed.
But for a lot of people, when they say the word truth, it's like people that say the word love. It's a word that they just say in words only. Because I'm not the challenger.
It's a filler.
Yeah, it is. It's a filler. Hey, I know the truth. I said, okay, whose truth are we talking about here? Because we're all perceivers and receivers. So whose truth are we? Are you going to tell me? And they said, well, that's steel. I said, are you sure? What do you mean? I said, where do you see the word? That's just material. We give it a word. Hence the word evil. Material. That's all that is. It's an object. You can call it whatever you want. But you don't see the word that I spoke, let alone the thought that they received from it. So what are we looking at then? So then where's the trees? Where's the walls? Well, Dominic, you're in an objective realm. But most people don't realize you're not being able to communicate with the observed that's observing you. The self is just a step. Whatever the Greeks or whoever said this kind of stuff, know thyself. Knowing the self is one thing. Understanding the self is something else. Having discernment, discerning the difference between that. You don't see the words that you give to things, hence the word describe or express. When my buddy said to me, Dominic, I went to anger management. Really? Did you go to joy management too? Did you go to sadness management? When did you ever have to control your emotion? Learn how to use that particular emotion appropriately.
Exactly.
No, hey, that guy's getting me pissed off. You're allowed to be angry. You might even be frustrated. It's like when people do this five stage of grieving, but they've never learned how to be angry. They're going to be stuck. You know, I get it. I'm making humor of the whole situation, enemy, because I realize I know I'm full of crap in a lot of ways. Most people just don't say that about themselves. They're too busy thinking other people are full of crap. I said, no, let them do their own.
That's a good one right there. That's a good one right there. Because because the first person know that you're full of crap would be you.
It should be me.
I mean, not necessarily you. I'm talking about that whoever it pertains to. The first person knows that they're full of crap is that person it pertains to. They know they're full of crap.
It's like, hey, if you
they'll say everybody else full of crap.
Yeah. If you told me, Dom, privately, because I know we're on a public platform, I really respect the whole concept of private versus public. So if a person says to me privately, Dominic, you're full of crap, I said, yeah, you could just ask me. I already know that about me. I'm the one that's going to drive my own bus. I'm the one that's going to drive myself over the bus. I'm the one that's hanging over top of the bus. It's my responsibility. It's kind of like the samurais. They have a code. They will fight to the death, but they respect karma. Once you humble yourself and you know I've bettered you, let me kill myself. Don't want you to have my karma. That's mine to own. That's the rule. When people want to debate, it would be nice. Listen, here's a revolver. Debate to the end. Let's see who's really full of shit now and who is. Most people would never do that game. Not say I would do that, but now you get some people that are so egotistical, they would put a bullet to their head, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean that's ego's something. Ego is something.
And where do you think the whole concept of mastery came from? That's the ego.
Yes.
And then you have to humble another ego person by saying, I'm going to be a slave. I'm like, both of them are programs. You come out of one womb and they condition to be a master. You come out of another womb and then you're going to become a slave. What fucking full of shit is that?
Yeah.
Especially when you find out, because you hear stories about people that in jail, they're free as free can be because they understand who they really are. They're not the vessel. Then there's other people, they live in a big castle. They're never free because they never find out who they really are. So now when a guy's a slave, he says, I can't even give you who I really am. You can have the vessel if you want. It's going to expire eventually. People People fear things that they never experienced. Now, we might have maybe in previous spans of life, if people value that stuff, where people say, well, my father passed away. I said, you didn't experience death. What we experience is the concept called suffering. But suffering is not about resistance to pain as much as the attachments to our comforts and our desires.
Okay.
That's the biggest suffering. How many people would say, okay, well, the economy collapsed. Yeah, you can't have your internet anymore. How easy would it be to shut down any economy? Or people say, in America, you'll never take, I'm not saying you're saying that, but a lot of people say, you'll never take over America. I said, once they stop giving you bullets, yeah, it'll be done in no time. And then they stop bringing food. You'll go to those FEMA camps within a day. Because people aren't honest with themselves enough to realize they're so deep as the frog in the system that they don't even know they can turn the water up and down, whoever they are. And I don't think it's even humans we're talking about at that point, because we're not that smart of a species. We have religion. We have atheists who will bitch and complain about religion. I said, why don't you pick on state and science while you're there too? And you might as well do the one that encompasses them all, commerce, or maybe your senses.
Exactly. On that note, brother, I'm gonna I appreciate you coming through and chopping it up with me. I appreciate your contribution. I'm about to end this stream, and your contribution was intricate. I appreciate my brother RRREALIZE coming through and contributing to the stream. His contribution was intricate and important. And next time you see me live, just come up.
Thanks, Enemy. I appreciate. Well, I saw you posted late last night with OG, and I thought, and I looked at your site, and I listened to you last night. And said, he's an old soul. Love it.
Yeah.
When I hear old souls, even with Bobby and OG, I'm like, we don't really have to reveal ourselves that we're old souls. But when you hear people talk, you know they're old souls.
Yes. We've been here a little while, right? Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. We've been here just a little bit. You take care.
Thank you. Same with you, my friend.
All right, peace. Before I go, I want to say peace and blessings and thank everybody for coming through. I want to thank my wife, Mrs. The Enemy's Public, the brother, the realist McCoy, Equator 7, my brother RRREALIZE, my brother King Genocide, the brother Dominique, the realist McCoy. Peace to the brother Greedy Vegan. Peace to the brother Joe State. I appreciate you coming through. This is the Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This is the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.